Hi, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and that you are safe. If this is your first time here, well, my name is Henry and today we're going to be looking at the games releasing in August 2020. We do a video like this every month in which we show the games releasing the following month, so if you want to stay up to date with those games that are being released constantly, consider subscribing, and I hope that you really enjoy today's video. Now without further ado, let's go ahead and check them out. Now the first game in our list is Baldur's Gate 3. Larian Studios is adapting Dungeons & Dragons tabletop rules for the next RPG, and it sounds like they've taken a few creative liberties to translate the D&D experience to PC, much like they did with Divinity Original Sin 2. Since Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to early access first, we don't yet know what is planned for a full release. It is known that Baldur's Gate 3 will release on GOG and Steam along with Stadia. Now Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be a role-playing video game with both a single player and a cooperative multiplayer option. Players will be able to create one or more characters and form a party with them to explore the game's story. In this game, players will start outside of the city of Baldur's Gate, but will head into the city walls as seen in the game's premiere trailer. Now the bad guys in this game are the Mind Flayers. They are an ancient and terrifying force in a Dungeons & Dragons universe. They live in the Underdark and have a powerful mind control ability. Now the game follows a new story set in the current era of the Forgotten Realms. The Mind Flayers have found a way to make ships that allow them to travel between worlds, and now they are invading. Now the player character and main companions are all infected with what it seems to be a parasite that should turn them into Mind Flayers, but for some reason the process is not working like it normally does. One of the main key quests then becomes to find out more information about the parasites and how to get them removed. Alright my friends, so it's Baldur's Gate 3. Now looking pretty interesting, especially that you'll be able to play either single player or multiplayer depending on what you prefer. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this next game, which is called Relicta. Now this game is actually happening in the future on year 2120 and it's going to take us to the moon. I hope you enjoyed. Let's go ahead and take a look on it. Alright, so this game will be available on Steam, PS4, Xbox One and Stadia. We're in the year 2120. Humanity has advanced a lot in scientific terms to the point of creating a base on the moon with various thematic stations. It is not of course the moon that we know, but it seems an extension of the Earth with the aim of carrying out different studies, experiments in different fields such as manipulating gravity or playing with magnetism through accessories to a special globe. The story starts with a problem. Something happens in the Chandra base of the moon, specifically in Relicta's chamber, the material that gives the game its name. Angelica Patel, with a desire to save her daughter, suffers an accident due to an unknown evil vector, and basically at this point we're left without knowing what happens next, although the adventure goes back in time 2 years just to put ourselves in a different situation. Now this game definitely looks very colorful, very interesting, and it gives a bright idea in terms of what we could achieve in the future, specifically talking about moving on to a different planet or maybe terraforming different planets. It's actually something that I would like to see, although I'm only going to be able to see that on video games. Now let's move on to the next game. Alrighty, so the next game is Serious Sam 4. Now Serious Sam is an upcoming first-person shooter game currently being developed by Crow Team. The game has been scheduled to be released in August 2020. It will also be available for PC through Steam and Stadia, and PS4, Xbox One versions will likely be the following in 2021. The game will contain a lot of weapons, will contain vehicles and some familiar enemies from the previous games. As a matter of fact, sprinting, iron sights and reloading from Serious Sam 3 will all return on this game. Sprinting will be an integral part of the gameplay of all future installments, including Serious Sam 4. It's also likely that the game will use an updated version of the Serious engine. According to the Crow Team developers, the gameplay will be a lot more challenging than the previous games, starting from the first level onwards, saying that it will be a full Sam from the beginning. I haven't played these games in the past and don't fully understand that quote, although I must imagine that it will be more challenging in terms of enemies and the things that you need to do to progress into the game. Now the game will take place in several locations. So far the only confirmed locations are rural France, Greece, Russia, Italy, and Mount Vesuvius. Other locations are still unknown, however, the maps will be much larger than in previous Serious Sam games. There will be a large scale environments that feature optional quests, secrets, and much more, but gameplay wise will still be like the other games and not so much as an open world one. Alright my friends, so the next game that's coming up is Wastland 3, which is releasing August 28th of this year. Basically, this game was delayed a few times in the past, one during 2019 and then in May of 2020. Now this game will be available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and also for PC. Now this game will be following up on the events of Wastland 2. The Desert Rangers were left without a proper base of operations. They received a call from the Patriarch of Colorado Springs, essentially the ruler of the region, asking them to help him stop his nation from falling apart, and in return he promised the Rangers all of the resources that they need to rebuild. Now expect a large world with two major hubs. The first one will be the city of Colorado Springs. This one will be the largest location in Wastland 3. The second one will be your ranger base, which will actually act as a quest hub. At the start of the game, the base will be empty and you'll have to recruit new rangers from the local population. And now for the first time in the series, Wastland 3 will introduce multiplayer. Now you'll be able to play throughout the main campaign with a friend in two-player co-op mode. The campaign will continue even if only one of the players is online, so you can drop in and out anytime that you want, but there will be a small number of set points in the story that will only trigger if both players are in the game. Now if you're wondering how combat will differ from Wastland 2, then it looks like it will be largely the same. A turn-based combat in which you spend action points during your turn, directing your squad to take cover or attack the enemy. Now this game so far is looking pretty awesome, but it's time to move on to our next one. Alright my friends, so this game that you're looking at right now, which kind of looks like Breath of the Wild as a survival game, is actually called Windbound. It is a promising survival game set on an unexplored island. As Maroon Warrior Kara, your primary task is to survive. You'll have several islands to explore for resources, as well as tidy sealing vessel to travel between them. As mentioned a second ago, survival seems to be the focus of this game, but you'll also be learning about the so-called Forbidden Islands, which is exciting indeed, as all of Forbidden things are. According to the Steam page, each island has its own wildlife, landscapes, and challenges to face, and you'll be crafting weapons and tools to make the dangerous adventure a touch less dangerous. Now something else that we will be looking at this game are light platforming, environmental puzzles, lock-on combat, and hang gliders. Now this game right here is looking pretty awesome, but let's move on to our next one. Alright my friends, so we have gotten to the last game that we're going to be reviewing today, and I have to say this is my favorite one. B-Cube and Level 91 Entertainment announced the racing title Inertial Drift back in October. It'll be available for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Both will have a digital and physical format, and it is a one-on-one racing title with players using twin stick controls to maintain the movement of the vehicle they choose. That includes the drifts and the cars that they will get into. Now Inertial Drift will have a total of 20 different tracks, which will vary from places with a pink Japanese sunset to neon cities, and there will be 16 different vehicles to use, with each one having its own handling to get used to. Inertial Drift will feature both online and local multiplayer, so you'll be able to play with your friends either online or in your own house. Anyways, you'll also be able to play single player, in which you'll be able to practice your skills against AI opponents and ghosts. Alright my friends, so this was the video I had prepared for you guys today. I hope that you liked it. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel. That really supports us and helps us get more people. That way we continue to grow and build a stronger community. Also, please let me know what you think of the games that are being released, and if you have any suggestions, they are also more than welcome. Well, but that's all for me today. I'm gonna leave right here a list of the games that are going to be released on August as well that we didn't cover on this video. So if you want to check them out, here's the list. Feel free to go ahead and check them out if you're interested in any of those. But this is all for me right now. Alright, I hope to see you soon guys. Please stay safe, and I'll see you on our next one. Goodbye.